so many years down the line into the profession of marketing, I would say. What is that one particular thing that has not changed and which will never change? Might moderate but will never change.
I think it's the core of marketing. Even today, that one book by Philip Kotler on marketing, which is treated as the Bible of marketing, will never change.
Okay.
The core 4 P's of marketing, product, price, promotion, place, will never change.
Never change.
You'll add more P's to it, like people, process, right?
Right.
But the core of marketing will never change, and marketing will always remain the backbone and the base of companies, because ultimately it is numbers, it is the revenue which drives companies.
Correct.
So it will always be similar. What is exciting, which I am also enjoying, is all the new technologies which are coming, and how happily I can sit at home and order my vegetables and get it everything fresh at home.
Right.
So that's a very exciting phase we are going through. One thing I would like to say here.
Hi everyone, my name is Bonalisa Khatua and I hope all of you are happy and healthy. Now, my guest today is someone who holds 37 years of industrial experience. Some of his roles includes President, Vice President and COO at companies like PwC, Capgemini, TCS and Shriram Finance. He's an alumni of IIM Ahmedabad and is a co-founder of MedTrain AI. He's also the lifetime council member of Chowdhury University and is a professor with decades of experience. Please join me in welcoming Professor Debasis Basu, sir.
Thank you, Mona Lisa.
Thank you so
Nice
much, sir,
to
for
be here.
joining us. So, sir, shall we begin?
Sure, absolutely.
So, since a lot of our viewers are students and parents of basically management, management students who are, very anxious about which college do they need to join, or how should be the, what aspects should one consider before taking admission into any, management school, I would say, or B school, I would say. So, my question to you is, since you are a faculty of marketing and you have, such lush-current experience into marketing, so what do you think, what is the difference in curriculum when you talk about specifically in IBI, when we talk about, marketing education? How is it different from any other B schools?
Okay, it's a very interesting and a very good question. And before I get into the full answer of it, I would also like to tell you that before IBI, since I've taught in a few other places more as a visiting faculty when I was working, it used to be more like when I taught in Chowdhury University, I was one of the founding faculties in marketing, and it was totally theory based. When I taught in Nanyang University, Singapore, again, that was in the early 2000s, and it was mostly theory based. Compared to that, when I studied in IIM Ahmedabad, we used to do our courses based on case studies, which was more practical based, but not as practical as what we are trying to do in IBI now. And that's where I saw there's a change which is happening. There's a difference in the way British education and American education in MBA courses are given. I also taught for a couple of years in University of Bedfordshire at the British Council, Delhi. And I've realized that the British education is more theory based, where there's classroom teaching, you talk of STP, you talk of consumer behavior, you talk of positioning, and then you talk of basic marketing concepts. As compared to that, the American way of how we did it, because IIM Ahmedabad had a tie-up with Harvard University in its early years, was case-based. So theory you study at home and you come prepared reading a case which is discussed in class. Moving forward, coming to IBI, we have tried to introduce what is the current requirement of the industry today. See, a huge change which has happened in the industry from even 10 years back is nowadays industry executives want freshers to join and start performing immediately. Maybe a week of training and then they get into the actual work. For that, you need students to be trained. And today's training is not just purely bookish reading. it is also a lot of technology. As you see, e-commerce, even all the big companies are using a lot of tools.
Right.
So tool-based training is very important. Python is taught in IBI. We have advanced Excel courses. We have Tableau, which are all required in the industry. We have SPSS.
Right.
And so tool-based training, which helps in student understanding how AI is implemented in companies and how AI is implemented in the marketing sphere of companies is what we are trying to teach our students today.
Correct, sir.
So there's a difference in that approach and today's approach.
Today's approach. So you mentioned that a lot of practice and exposure is given to tools. If I say it could be AI tool or maybe advanced Excel,
Right.
SPSS or any other tool
Right.
that is being taught in the everyday classes at IBI. And you also mentioned that industry needs performance from day one, maybe a
Right.
week training, and they need performance, and for that we need practical experience.
Absolutely.
So how do you design the curriculum at IBI that could provide, these classroom teaching, how does it provide practical hands-on experience to the students so that they start performing within a week?
Again, a very good question, because that's exactly how IBI is changing its course, and we've already for the last couple of years been teaching in the classroom the theories, but then what we've also done is we've exposed our students to industry. So there are three aspects to it. The first is we bring in industry experts who come every month, speak to the students from different industries. It is mostly in the marketing space. I've noticed consumer behavior, consumer durable companies, FMCG companies, automotive companies, consulting companies, the big four, people come and talk. So that is experts coming from industry and saying how industry is changing and what is required. The second is we have our internship programs and our life projects. Now internship programs are done over a 2-month period where students go and work in companies, choosing the area of interest or specialization and work in that field with the industry people.
The industry people.
Life projects is a little different. It's a shorter period, but there students actually go, and we've worked with Hershey's, we've worked with Reliance, and students actually stand and interact with consumers. Because when you get into marketing, what people don't realize that marketing all starts from sales.
Right.
So in our courses, we are emphasizing how important sales is when you get into marketing in your first couple of years.
Correct.
So you have to get into the field, you have to slog it out, you have to do hard work, because that's when you get to know the product, you get to know your customers, and you get to know how analysis of data is done
Right.
to market.
Right.
So data is again a very important thing in today's world,
Right.
and data analytics using AI tools, using AI is used in marketing by HUL, by ITC, by all the big companies and even smaller companies today
Correct.
in the e-commerce field.
Right.
So that's, I think, a change or an emphasis we brought, and this is what we call experiential learning.
Experiential learning. Very rightly, sir. Sir, you mentioned that by default, when any fresh management student, especially specializing into marketing, start his or her career through sales, and sales, we all know by default is the backbone of any organization, right? Any organization, it cannot survive without sales. But we also see that students often get discouraged when they get their first placement into sales, because they they have this vivid imagination that they have chosen marketing, they'll be given a cabin, it might have AC, and they will just need to do a desk job basically. But sales is something which requires you to go outside that a happy environment, work outside in under the sun, it might be raining or anything. It basically includes a harsh weather climate that you have to survive. So what is your message to those students, or how do you deal with such students if they come to you for suggestion?
What we are doing now is from day one emphasizing to all students who come in how important sales is for their own career.
Correct.
See, end of the day, any student passing out from any of the IITs, IIMs, IBI, anywhere, has to make the career.
Correct.
And that's when the faculty is not there, the parents are not there to hold their hands. So it is the student who's no more a student, but now in a large world, which is a very challenging world, highly competitive, is a rat race, and he or she has to build their careers.
Correct.
So to build a career, it is absolutely important. You have to do hard work, be in the field, understand the consumer, do market research,
Correct.
understand the product, because the consumer asks you questions, and if you don't know the product, you can't answer.
Exactly.
So you automatically get to know the product better. And it's not just for our students. Even after passing out from IIM Ahmedabad, one of my first jobs was TCS, and TCS gave me a territory. I was one of the first 3 people chosen to sell Oracle in India. And Oracle was a new database, no one knew anywhere else in the world. In India, that's the first time they had heard about it.
Correct.
There was something called Lotus Notes, which was a flat file. And what I did is, from day one, I had to go into territories like Jamshedpur, Bhilai, Bombay, where I was based, and go and meet customers in factories.
Right.
Go to Tata Steel, go to Tata Robin Frasers, go to Telco, which is today Tata Motors, go to ITC, and explain to them. In the process, I myself learnt a lot.
Correct.
And built what is customer understanding,
Correct.
understanding the consumer or the customer. Today you have tools like Salesforce, which I have implemented. Salesforce has tools called Salesforce SFDC Sales, SFDC Marketing, SFDC Finance. These are tools through which you can analyze the data which is coming and be able to market and sell better. So ultimately, this has all come into technology, which has made decision making much easier and faster.
Correct. So you said decision making. There's this term which is very much in the market right now, which is data driven decision making. So what are your thoughts on it? How does IBI nurture its student into making sound data driven decision making?
Yes, we have a course in SPSS. Students are taught advanced Excel, they're taught Tableau, and of course IT programs like C and Python are also taught. But SPSS, if you see, is a entry level or lower level tool for analyzing data. Right? The one we used to sell is a higher level tool called SAS, and then even a higher data which Airtel uses called Teradata. So these are very huge data driven tools, or rather they are sources of data where all the data coming to companies are kept. Now today you don't have a choice. All large companies, even small companies globally, are analyzing the data which they are getting from the market and from consumers, and then are much faster in taking decisions. And if you don't have data, you don't analyze data to take decisions, you will be a slow mover. And what does it mean? That means you'll be left out, you'll be following others who are much faster in the market.
Correct.
So it is very important to know these data driven tools and to know how to analyze data. But again, before you become a data analyst, you have to have sales experience, you have to get into marketing, because then you have to know where data comes from, how data is put into which tool, and then you will be able to analyze and take decisions.
Right.
So decision making is become highly data driven nowadays. And you know how Amazon, Flipkart uses data to even sell to you and me.
Correct.
Right? You go into a mall, it tells you what you want to eat or what you want to buy. And it exactly follows you using AR, augmented reality.
Correct.
Right? Which Apple is working on.
Correct.
And Apple phones have augmented reality.
Correct.
So you can't live without data. You are unknowingly, everyone is using data.
Correct.
Right?
Correct. So, when you were answering this question, I could see a lot of, market research into it.
Absolutely.
So, what does IBI do, especially for the marketing student? When you talk about market research, you also spoke about live projects and internship.
Right.
So what practical exposure in terms of market surveys do we give to our students when we teach them marketing?
Let me give you one example that will possibly make it more simpler to understand. Last year, one of my IIM friends who had bought a small cafe space in front of Amity University, Noida. And he was from Mother Dairy.
Okay.
So he was setting it up and he wanted some people to know who could buy from that place. So I spoke to him since he was my classmate. So some of our students got forms with a questionnaire. They actually went to the sectors around Amity where people stay, the high rise as well as the low rises, and did market research. That data was then brought into a system, one of the tools, and data was crunched, and decision based on that was made to know what is the type of items in the bakery which should be kept, which will go fast off the shelves, which are the ones which people will order through Zomato or Swiggy, and accordingly he set up the space.
Oh wow. So I think IBI is definitely on the motto of giving what you said, experiential learning.
Absolutely.
Because it not only, teaches theory, like you mentioned that British education is
Yes.
more towards theory.
Right.
Whereas when we talk about IBI, specifically the PGDM course, it has a perfect blend of, a practical exposure as well as theoretical exposure. So my next question to you would be, so many years down the line into the profession of marketing, I would say, what is that one particular thing that has not changed and which will never change? Might moderate but will never change.
I think it's the core of marketing. Even today, that one book by Philip Kotler on marketing, which is treated as the Bible of marketing, will never change.
Okay.
The core 4 P's of marketing, product, price, promotion, place, will never change.
Never change.
You'll add more P's to it, like people, process, right?
Right.
But the core of marketing will never change, and marketing will always remain the backbone and the base of companies, because ultimately it is numbers, it is the revenue which drives companies.
Correct.
So it will always be similar. What is exciting, which I am also enjoying, is all the new technologies which are coming, and how happily I can sit at home and order my vegetables and get it
Right.
everything fresh at home.
Right.
So that's a very exciting phase we are going through. One thing I would like to say here is we are what you call 50, 60-year older generations,
Right.
but the new generation today is extremely good at technology. And you teach or tell anything about technology to our students here, whatever background they come from, engineering, non-engineering, non-technology backgrounds, they are extremely good at it, and therefore they have to be taught anything related to technology, AI-driven tools, because that's where the world is moving.
Right.
And whatever generation we come from, Gen Z or pre-Gen Z, we have to go with the times, because that's where the world is moving.
Correct.
It's all going to be experiential, data-driven,
Right.
and decision making using AI.
Correct.
And it will move into AR, virtual reality, and even more. So we have to move with the times, because every other company is going to do that.
Right. So when you talk about all these things that are being done at IBI, are there also any other, because when we see a CV of a fresher during the time of interview or placement, if we only mention PGDM in let's say marketing or
Right.
BA or any other thing, so the CV might look a bit flat. What extra thing do we provide to our students here in order to, let's say, to make it a go-getter for recruiter?
I think the first thing a company will look at when they come to you at an interview time is how well you are groomed, how well you can present yourself,
Right.
and 70% of the decision of taking you or not taking you is decided there itself. So grooming is something which, as a marketing person, I say is very important in the profile of any
Right.
person.
Right.
Is one of the things IBI focuses on. We give special training on communication, on grooming,
Right.
and in the CV when they look at you, If you have an experience, it always helps because that's where the discussion goes into.
Right.
If you don't have, then it is the internship which you've done or the life project which you've done is what is looked into. And today industry people are coming, they're sitting with the faculties and talking to us as to what they want from our students and in the CV. And we are actually building the students like that and putting that into the CV, which will make it more exciting. And the discussion also more fruitful with the industry, and they will be able to pick our students much more faster.
Right. So we also see a trend of, various online certifications or maybe, workshops that students do and they add on into their resumes. So does IBI also include any of those in order to, I would say provide some extra support?
Absolutely. We have a tie-up with ENY where various certifications are provided through the ENY course. And in marketing, we've got a marketing analytics certification and 2-3 other certifications like that. In every of our specializations, we've got some certifications which the student actually has to go through that course online and then give a test, and only if the student passes gets that certification from ENY. So that they add. Plus there are many other courses which they do in digital marketing, which the students by themselves do, which we tell them where to go and what to do. There are courses on LinkedIn and YouTube, and which are relatively cheaper or free, but that always adds to not only the weight of the biodata, but even the knowledge of the student.
Correct, very true. So we'll just end up with one more question. What would be your message to your future students who would be joining IBI? What experience can they, expect when they join IBI?
Message to my future students will be, whatever background you come from, come to IBI with an open mind of learning, of being groomed for the industry, and you're coming to a place which will place you well and help you start your career. Keep learning, because as you get into a career, you have to keep learning and changing with the times to grow. So that's something you have to continuously do, and IBI is one of the best places for that, and we are all totally dedicated towards grooming and training you for a better future and a great career and a great life.
Thank you so much, sir. It was really nice talking to you. Thank you so much.
Same here. Thank you, Mona Lisa.
Thank you, sir.